It's just, in my opinion, I just feel Feitan slams the Sivir Yumi. Like, they don't need to necessarily pick Yumi R2, but means that the Varus really has a hard time functioning into the Sivir, in my opinion.
Yeah,
We are now. Oh,
I
you go,
get that.
Cosem.
No, I get that. I think that Varus is the most broken B1 in the game right now. I don't think it's really close because he has the two builds. And I do think on hit is harder to play positional wise, but I think it's a lot easier to play mechanically. Just because whereas lethality has to land poke and has to actually hit their skills, on hit Varus doesn't really actually hit his skills. He just kind of taps his Q with his stacks up, presses E, and just auto attacks and tries to reset with his passive because he gets a ton of attack speed bonuses when he gets a kill. And the onus is more on his support and his supporting cast to carry. MFB1 is the looking to be the possibility here.
That's a D4 cap move if I've ever seen it in my life. I think this champ stinks.
Brum!
But
I don't like Misfortune.
to go over bans quickly, pretty much the exact same. The Tristana ban is the only AD ban they have to go after. Or excuse me, Greed doesn't have to worry about that multiple AD ban. As Sivir Yumi can come through here, but I will mention something that's been in the back of my head. We're talking about wheelchair and his champ pool. One of the champs he does play that would fend quite well into Sivir is Jarvan. So I think Jarvan and Misfortune are a decent pairing on a team, and I think that if I'm Phaeton, we don't need to pick the bottom lane completely as a Mumu. We'll be locked in already. Something annoying for Misfortune to have to deal with.
Yeah, I just think Misfortune requires the enemy team to mess up to function. Yes, she's great at rotating between lanes, getting mid prio. She does well in the most laning matchups. And I mean, sure, pairing it with like a Jarvan Rel here, Jarvan Leona, Jarvan Nautilus does give you a lot of opportunities to set up a really strong ultimate. But in my personal, I mean, the Vel'Koz, I talked about it last game. That's not unexpected. They're just trying to drop circles on circles on circles, essentially.
I think Rel. I know that Vel'Koz, like you said, is really popular for their team. I think Rel should have been the slam there as Yumi will come in. The cat is back, and we see that classic pairing, Sivir Yumi. I mean, I think Rel would be really good here. I think it fits their comp, and it's so good. It's one of the better lockdown CC supports against Sivir because you have two reliable CC abilities, so there's no way that Sivir can just spell shield them away. So I
Surprised
mean,
we didn't
next
go
up's probably,
Bard into double channeling ultis. I'm going to be honest.
yeah.
Kingmaker can play it. He does not the best at it, but he can play it. And double channeling ultis, I feel, would give Bard extremely high prio here. But just locking in the Yumi.
Y'all gotta swap KD in for that if you want Bard.
Yeah, true. The best Bard. I
As we
mean,
see,
true.
So
Faker
I
ban.
doubt Food Battle plays it, but given the likelihood of a lot of dive coming in from Greed to make sure they're getting onto that Sivir Yumi, they already have the Jarvan. I would love to see a Poppy personally coming in for Food Battles in the top lane. It's not going to happen because we already see the Poppy pick. Top Poppy doesn't really work very well nowadays, but I love it as a pick. I think it would give this composition so much flexibility into what Greed does because you can alt any of the divers away. You can stop the dive. You can use the Cataclysm against the Jarvan. It just has so many options into the composition. We're not going to see it, but let me talk about Poppy. The LeBlanc comes in. I like
Maokai is
it,
the
but
counter pick.
Maokai is one of the infamous counters to LeBlanc.
Vel'Koz isn't going to get to have a laning phase, though.
No,
Let's
I like LeBlanc recently buffed, so going to have a bit more damage available to them, and also with the items coming through, I think that it's a much better landscape for LeBlanc, and that Maokai, as of right now, soon it will be revealed, but it is a flex at this moment, top lane or support. Going to go support as we have Camille top again. Having to blind this top
Please, it's
side.
not gonna happen, but I want it.
I mean, Poppy would be so good right here. So much value against every member, and even the members without dashes don't want to play into
He's
the
gonna play
Poppy.
like Singed or something. I don't know. It's
It's gonna be
just
like Singed or Mundo or
Singe was
something.
banned last game.
it's food
Singed or
battles.
Mundo, I
Just
think, for food
even though
battles.
it'd be heavy AP from Feitan, Jax. But
Yeah.
I do think that the better item is Flicker Blade, just because you have perma Qs, perma Es, so it's really hard for you to be locked down by specific CCs like Maokai or even Vel'Koz E.
As we are loaded in here, could see some dangerous situations. Rutenium, speaking of dangerous situations, gets slowed. Has that passive pop. Bone does find the real one. Ignite goes down, and immediately first blood into Brother Otter's pocket. I think when we talked about Greed being good early game, we were not anticipating it being pre 1 minute into the game, as not only do they get a quick kill, they also get some vision and information as to where Crispy Nuggets is starting. They don't know necessarily if they're going to jump back to that bot side or not, but pretty rough start if you are Feitan.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a little rough. Rutenium wanted to greet his flash. He really, really, really didn't want to have to flash there. I think that he probably had to expend it, unless he really feels like this this 300 gold isn't really going to matter, just because he can guarantee get a kill early game. Like, he should be able to, but we'll definitely see how it goes.
It does make the bot lane a little bit less good level 1. Just because I do believe that Arcane Smash is the best level 1 ability on Maokai. Yes, you don't get the guaranteed lockdown, but in terms of wave control, wave pressure, Rainbow Smash just gives you the most utility. And it's just going to devolve into a poke lane back and forth, going to be dependent upon whether or not Misfortune is able to get good double ups off, or if the Yumi Sivir Q poke is going
Oh
to be
no!
more aggressive.
Kingmaker hit with the
Wait.
twisted advance, luckily able to get out with just heal, as Misfortune not nearly enough attack speed at this point. Looks like Flash was expended from Bone to grab the Yumi in that momentary period where you and me was not up and available. Very, very close to being another massive advantage for Greed in this early game.
And we need to stem the bleeding as soon as possible. It's definitely what needs to happen. Hopefully, we can stem the bleeding bot, we can get a lead early mid, and then take over the game, I think is the goal.
Flash forward to guarantee the chains hitting, but that means that Crispy Nuggets can't follow up. No flash for Brother Otter, but no ignite or flash for Rutenium, as we see in this top lane. Food battle going up against no flash, but ignite. Camille makes these engages hard, considering the fact that Camille has that built-in shielding, and that's something that it's going to be difficult for Jax to be able to get through. Obviously, has access to the counter-strike, can avoid a lot of damage, but the shielding is going to be obnoxious.
It's just gonna be. Excuse me. The skill matchup at the top lane. Basically, this mid lane play basically screams to me that Crispy and Rutenium have to punish the Vel'Koz at level 6. If they do not, this play doesn't amount to anything, in my opinion.
It is going to get more difficult as Ignite is used. No real kill threat unless we get the Q charged
I think
up.
they're trying. I think he's trying to go for a dive.
Counter-strike
bad.
up and available for Jax, though, makes it very difficult for Camille to actually commit to a dive in that situation. Definitely was the thought process, though, as a back is coming through. Rutenium going to have a decent time going forward in this mid lane. Going to be difficult to kill Brother Otter, but they are going for Roa, it looks like. So acknowledging that they've got early lane advantages in the bot lane and the top lane, understanding that they are not going to have a winning situation in mid against LeBlanc for quite some time. So might as well go for a scaling option in the build. Having that Roa, that level advantage, try and get towards that level 16 ultimate on the Lifeform Disintegration Ray. Eggwhites walking up a bit far. Twisted Advance can be spell shielded, but that won't stop the Bramble Smash from knocking you around as Rutenium has that mirror image blown once again.
It's already a 12 CS lead, though, and the CS lead is slowly growing.
Yeah, but it is offset a little bit by that first blood that the Vel'Koz is able to get. It's just going to be whether or not the LeBlanc, as I think we see Kingmaker's trepidation of whenever he pops out of that you and me, trying to immediately get back in here, as we do see Wheeler is rotating down. It's not on Vision right now.
Out on Vision, Make It Rain comes down. Bramble Smash does get spell shielded, and the extra movement speed from those zoomies means that Sivir's just going to walk out. I like that Jarvan is staying, helping them push this out so that they can get a reset. No one in this bottom lane has gone back yet, so helping Misfortune Maokai get back, get some items. Once Maokai gets a Ruby Crystal, I think it's impossible to ever kill this tree in this bottom lane. And Misfortune wants to start getting some items as soon as possible. The BF Sword is going to be grabbed, and the pants coming through from Maokai means that it's going to be nearly impossible for a Sivir Yuumi lineup to ever get the kill. Darkseal grabbed for Yuumi as that hook shot will get Camille to safety. I want to mention quickly Amumu's items. I'm a big fan. Anytime you're playing an AP jungler, even if you're only going to go for one AP item, is Flash Forward on Crispy Nuggets is going to land that Bandage Toss, but the Life Form Disintegration Ray comes out in return. Rutenium going to go down with the bone. Roam into the mid lane. Next kill will come through for Wheelchair. It's a Quick Feats of Strength. Quick Feats of Warfare, excuse me, picked up for XSV Greed. And now with Bone roaming bottom side, Eggwhites walking up a bit far. There is Wheelchair waiting in the wings. Bramble Smash going to be saved as Twisted Advantage is once again spell shielded. Exhaust is used though. Walking forward, Eggwhites forces out the flash. Wheelchair can't really decide what direction they want to go. No Cataclysm available just yet, but they do have the flash for a EQ flash combo. FOODBATTLE getting extremely ill. Counter-Strike will go down. Ignite, though, is ticking. Will it do enough damage? The answer is no. And before I pass it over, as we seem to have a moment of peace here, whenever you have an AP jungler, I love to see that Darkseal picked up early. It's just free stats, and you don't get any AP, obviously, from the jungle items, so helps your clear immensely.
I'm just very frustrated that he is going to the Andrews build. I just think it's very rarely the best first item on a Mumu. I don't care about how it synergizes with his kit. In my opinion, Mumu, your job is not to do damage. Your job is to set up your team to do damage, in my personal opinion. So I think it's never a good first item in my personal opinion, which he is going for. I think we saw that early Catalyst build path already paying off. If he does not go that early Catalyst build, I think he dies in that initial play. We are seeing Rutenium getting a little bit of trade, but he's not going to be winning these trades until he gets a completed item.
Not much damage. Coming through, Lost Chapter sitting in the pocket, but 0-2 is the score line. Even if they did continue on to Brother Otter, you see Wheelchair waiting in the wings. Crispy Nuggets is able to pick up one of those Void Grubs, and Amumu is going to get put over the wall.
It's a weird snap.
Very weird snap. Make It Rain comes down, but the level disadvantage there makes it so difficult. Crispy Nuggets does walk back around as those chains do not land, means there is no kill threat. Ignite almost back up and available. So if Rutenium's able to keep Brother Otter in this lane, might have kill threat in the next 15-20 seconds as we wait for that Ignite to come through. Jumping in again, Ethereal Chains bring Brother Otter so low, and I really think that was a bit overzealous if they just waited for Ignite.
Angle.
Might have come through. Level 6 is hit, but the Twisted Advance doesn't do much damage. We see the chapters be unveiled, and the Yuumis give so many zoomies. Peekaboo has nothing to do but stand there and die. Eggwhites
it's almost like I called this.
Carry.
Man, I will once again, yeah, we already said it again. I keep bringing it up every single game. Eggwhites will carry. Tale as old
Yeah,
as
yeah,
time.
I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about the Sivir Yumi level 6 power spike.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
you do make a point.
It is great. The healing being available now as Wheelchair looking for an angle. No lost chapter. Zoomies are available. No on the hunt, but the EQ misses. Eggwhites doesn't have access to flash though, so going to get stuck in that cataclysm as well as we have a top lane
Does
all
Food Battle
in
have
food
another E?
battle. Pushing forwards, has E up and available, procs it early for the stun.
Food
Well
battle solo
played
kill.
by
Let's
Food
go.
Battle. And just
That's
as quickly as we were watching this game slip away for Feitan, they are right back in the mix.
We
yeah.
got two free plates. Man.
Yeah, like in my personal opinion, a single ability, basically reliant engage support is the worst thing to pick into Sivir in terms of laning phase. Like, yes, Maokai gives them a lot of team-wide utility and is very good into specific champions on the side of Phaeton, but the two best, the top three champions into Sivir are those who have easily combinable CC. So things like Alistair, Rel, Fiona, as we are going to see another gank.
Yep, and no distortion means no ability to get out of a Cataclysm. Flash is used. Cataclysm not up and available, so that Lifeform Disintegration Ray will be the only thing to come out. Only major major cooldown for Greed as Flash is used for Rutenium. Food Battle's going in once again, but no counter strike, no leap strike means not going to be able to follow through. As we get back to a moment of peace, I think Rutenium is probably wise to not hit that chain. Probably wants to push this out, get back to base themselves to complete what is most likely a Luden's Companion as the first item.
Just his alternator.
Yeah. Just the Sork
No, he's
shoes.
going for the 10.
Not a bad,
But,
not a bad buy.
oh my god, Jarvan, why are you going that item?
Yeah,
Sundered
you don't want
Sky.
to be you don't want to be fighting sustained against Jax, who's going to dodge all your autos, a Mumu who's going to continually CC you, and no one else who you're going to be in range to constantly be fighting. Crispy Nuggets clearing out the mid lane. But Bone is wrapping around. Wheelchair is sitting here. Cataclysm is used. No flash available. So that doesn't matter if you spell shield any of those CC abilities. Immediately, Sivir is taken down. The kill will go on to MF as now Brother Otter is here. Knocks up Yuumi. Means no you and me for quite some time. Kill goes through to Vel'Koz for their efforts in the roam, as even Punkyris is down here without even teleporting. Just walked down, wanted to say hello, as nothing up and available in this bot side except for turret plates wisely being given solo to Misfortune, trying to get the snowball rolling, get the Bloodthirster
Oh god,
fully
this
built.
TT by Conqueror is so troll.
Very bad. They are under turret here using that hook shot. They have isolated Jax under turret, and the turret is now hitting. Flash away, but the ignite will be enough. Punkyris
This Rutenium just needs one spell rotation.
gets the Sigil of Malice double up combo. One of the more effective LeBlanc pairings, as we will see Curse the Sad Money used, but the turret is not in range. Crispy Nuggets does not have another bandage toss yet, and certainly doesn't have the damage. Lifeform Disintegration Ray will come through, but doesn't get enough procs of that passive to secure the kill, as we again return to some semblance of normalcy in the lanes, as Teleport will come through from Food Battle, who's going to take over in the mid lane. Peekaboo again using the Make It Rain because Jarvan is here, gets the EQ knock up. Twisted Advance will be spell shielded, but they're just going to dive under turret. Eggwhites taking so much damage and will go down to Peekaboo, utilizing the power early in this game of the Jarvan and Misfortune combos. Rutenium overstays top lane and gets killed after a great hook shot from Punkyris.
They're doing some inting, some little bit of inting here, but just Jarvan is absolutely camping the hell out of bot with the Cataclysm, with the just ability to kill a flashless Sivir. It is definitely a difficult task for Eggwhites this game to be able to do damage and step up in fights.
I mean, again, like, we're going to have to see Feitan pivot, as we're going to get another fight potentially here.
I think it's walking up, but doesn't have enough lockdown. They're trying to secure Vision and Prio for the upcoming Dragon and Rift Herald. Herald going to be available in 3 seconds, whereas Dragon going to be another 30. Just trying to get Prio in that mid lane, and I like now that they have Eggwhites in the mid lane, going to make it a lot easier for the Sivir to get some CS.
So, to kind of backtrack a little bit, the reason why I really like that rotation on top from Rutenium, even though it did end up giving 2 kills over to Punky Russ, he's down 30 CS in that lane. He just wasted his TP top. He got kills for it and after it, but he lost so much XP in waves that basically, unless Camille gets help in this side, I don't think Camille can contest Jax.
Did you see the bandage toss come forward, and the Nature's Grasp has to be expended? No bandage toss, but Rutenium is on that bottom side. Bone will be locked down, hit by the Counter-Strike, fully CC'd to the, but the Life Form Disintegration Ray returns 1 kill, flash out Marvin, and for Brother Otter, Crispy Nuggets gets taken down by the Misfortune, who's so far ahead. Rutenium is going to have to distortion their way out of here. Eggwhites, this is not Jinx. You're playing Sivir. There's not much damage available right now, so you can't just wipe these team fights. They are going to advance onto Punky Russ. But again, this not having the damage available, Rutenium, risky distortion forward to get some vision. Ends up taking a plasma fission to the face, but no death will come from it, as they're just bleeding out right now, continuing to give over objectives and turrets and waves, as we see Greed now moving up to the Rift Herald.
Yeah, I don't like the contest play coming in from Feitan there. Your Jax is very strong in terms of the 1v1. Just continue to play the 1v1, and it looks like we're going to have another fight.
Another fight. Crispy Nugget not able to steal away that Rift Herald, will die for it. Food Battle jumping in when it looked like the call was run. Bone will have to flash back into the team. Eggwhites has a lot of uptime, is going to be able to grab 1 kill, will go into the pocket of Kingmaker, but Eggwhites sees no stopping in their future, running down Peekaboo. The prowling projectile won't hit. On the other side, Rutenium is going to be able to pick up the kill behind them.
Using the flash, though, aggressively means we don't have it for Cataclysm coming up for the next fight.
True, but I think they really needed to make something happen there.
So that is the situation which proves why I very much dislike the first item, the Andrews on Amumu, because you saw him go in, press R, and then promptly died in about 2 seconds. Like, sure, you got a lot of damage off, you bought some time, but if you're just going after Shock and Tank, you buy so much more time. And I feel like that flash being burned there is a symptom of Kingmaker missing that prowling projectile. If he hits that prowling projectile, Eggwhites have to burn flash, they get that kill, and they still have it for this upcoming Drake fight here. I'm guessing in about 2.5 minutes.
It should be on the bottom right hand. They have all the objective timers up there. Right above the
I know
map.
there's a way to get the Baron or the Dragon and the Rift Herald spawners in those top corners, but I'm not sure.
I have them in the bottom right above the minimap, if you can see them.
Yeah. We have the classic spectator.
Yeah. I'll have to figure out how to get them above, but
I don't know. It's one of those that's above my pay grade. Got these damn producers thinking they're running the show over at Aegis, as we do see those
Aegis. Okay.
Yep. Rift Herald goes down, is going to get a good chunk, but isn't going to secure the turret. Getting a bit greedy here. I mean, name matches, as Brother Otter does get hit by the Ethereal Chains. Taking a lot of damage, though, is Rutenium. Gets the clone fake out. Brother Otter not having those cooldowns up and available, but no more damage for Rutenium. Gonna have to be happy just taking that life form disintegration ray as the only real cooldown, as they are still building towards their next item.
Does Eggwhites have enough gold for IE here?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Not yet.
No, they do
has
not.
the cloak.
I feel like if he can hit that for this next Drake fight, it's going to be massive for Phaeton's DPS.
They really need that, especially seeing as they don't have really any tank. And
Going
if
Leandries on LeBlanc.
yeah, we keep
Oh God, why am I watching this?
we
Like,
mentioned
so,
you go for it.
just to explain, you can build multiple Leandries on the same team. It doesn't affect the duration or anything, but like it doesn't extend the duration of the burn, but it like refreshes the cooldown or something like that. I don't know. There's an interaction which basically where it's not as bad. But I feel like it's LeBlanc buying Leandries. That
With the,
seems a bit scuffed to me.
yeah, with the recent Leandry's nerf, it really became the case where if it's game specific or champion specific where you're spamming abilities and can charge it super quickly, you can go Leandry's still. As we see, Crispy Nuggets does find a target. Wheelchair has to run away, and the second bandage toss hits. That means they're going to get the kill onto
This might be Otacon.
Wheelchair. To start this, that does mean that they can start Otacon, but that doesn't mean that they can for sure take it. They do have
Life
Life Form
Form
Disintegration Ray. They also have Bullet Time. Bone is trying to... I thought they were trying to find a flank. Right now it seems like they're trying to find a map. Doesn't really know how to get into this fight. Bullet Time will come through. They're just going to walk out and wait it out as the leash range on Otacon is so far. But now walking up, they do secure it. Feitan grabs the Otacon. Now they can run them down, though. Bone will use that Bramble Smash to get Food Battle out of the way, so the Counter-Strike will not stun. But now You and Me is on Jax's back. They will not chase. And they're going to start up the Dragon. It is risky, but I like the decision, seeing as two massive cooldowns were just used for the side of Greed.
The only thing they have left to contest this is Cataclysm. I think they have to give it. I do want to give credit. Funky Russ continued to apply pressure into the top side, was able to get some gold down. So something I do want to touch on, we didn't touch on it earlier, that I touched on it briefly. Food Battle is not ranked in the top 15 top laners. Do you want to hazard a guess as to what Punkysaurus rank is for top laners in Eternal?
He's not. He's probably not ranked either.
No, he was.
Oh,
I'm going to say that he is 8th.
I think he was like top 5.
Top 5?
Let me double check and see that, but I'm pretty sure I remember seeing his name for top lane.
Conqueror has a lot of like good orgs in here. Tons of Elysium teams, tons of Sin teams.
Sorry, he is 9th, not top
XSV.
5. He is 9th.
They've got Elysium in here. They got Dorados in here. So I think that they're gonna be able to have some guys in some of these named rosters, as Eggwhites is just rocking up, taking a fight with Peekaboo, doing so much damage, but they might have walked too far forward. Last chapter is going to have to be used, but maybe they baited just perfectly. It looks like the only person that got baited here is those Crispy Nuggets, as they're getting just bounced around, pummeled. Rutenium tried to find the flank, but will get spotted by that sapling. Flash forward for Food Battles. They know that this game is slipping. They have to make plays happen now. Eggwhites not able to get close enough to the fight. Rutenium is able to get
Rutenium double kills the backline.
Double kill. What have we been talking about all game? He said, Primus, Cosem, shut the hell up in your draft recap. I'm going to dive into their backline and do whatever the hell I want.
Wait, Eggwhites just spell-shielded Hextech Ultimatum. I didn't know you could do that.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
I didn't know that. I wasn't sure how that interaction would work. I wasn't sure. I've never seen that happen, because normally you hookshot into Ultimatum, but interesting.
I just love that. I mean, literally all we talked about during that extra delay early game is how LeBlanc is going to have a terrible time in these team fights. But they put all their attention towards Crispy Nuggets, towards Food Battle, towards Eggwhites. And that allows Rutenium, who's kind of been getting bashed in this early game, to get great angles, finish the kill on Peekaboo, take out the Vel'Koz. And once those two are down, I mean, the reason that the Hextech Ultimatum is able to be canceled is because Camille is the only one up and available, and to do all of their damage, you have to be up close and personal, so didn't have the ability to hook shot in from a distance and lay down that ultimatum. Had to just be right up in front, as Crispy Nuggets in a bad spot. Cataclysm will be used, and that is a Leandry's first item. A Mumu dies in an instant. Eggwhites walks up pretty far, but the damage is coming through. Walks out of that Bullet time.
There's no lockdown.
There's no more lockdown. Wheelchair is just barely going to escape, as well as Bone. Neither one of them taken down, at least for the moment. That means no Baron Nashor. But you certainly would have liked to see those kills come through, as we are working towards not only a Zeal item, but a Grievous, most likely going into that Mortal Reminder, as Ruthenium
that's so
has
much damage.
found Brother Otter, and you see these ethereal chains doing so much damage. Not going to have enough to finish, and Bone is in the area. Let's see if these Krugs are on our side. Krugs remain neutral. They have no bias. They will not take sides. And they do not attack. But now,
T1 would disagree.
T1 would disagree, although the inspiration Doran felt propelled them to MSI. And now we see a bit of a reset on the map coming through. And it looks like, I mean, once
Did T1
Food
win
Battles,
against HLE?
3-0
Yep.
sweep.
Oh my god! I never watched the series.
And Doran carried every game.
Oh,
It was
let's go,
unbelievable.
Doran! Oh, my goat.
Doran carried after getting killed by.
in like every game.
Watch the series. I don't want to spoil it. Eggwhites, though, pretty spoiled in this mid lane, getting dunked on by every
my
single
god, so much
player.
healing!
Somehow still alive. Yubi is a disgusting champion. Eventually they will go down, but now it's the Nuggets and Food Battle. Diving onto the backline, Bone is getting extremely low. You and me now onto Food Battle. Bullet time will start raining down, but Food Battle is still alive, has plenty of mana, getting some healing. Counter-Strike up and available. Does not get the kill before they go down. You and me onto Crispy Nuggets. Doesn't matter because they're dead too. Kingmaker down as well. Rutenium having to jump out of there. And guys, I'm not a play-by-play. Make it easy on me, I said. Wheelchair will not get the kill on that turret dive, and that means Baron maybe on the table. Mid lane inner certainly
They don't
there.
have the HP bars for it.
They're gonna go get
Dragon
Soul
3.
Point instead.
They don't have the HP bars, and really their best Baron DPS is the Vel'Koz, and they don't really have the greatest tank stats for it. That was a situation where, again, we don't see it happen very often in pro play, because generally these teams, especially with a mobile 80 carries and do things like Jarvan, they will just choose not to fight until that flashes back up. And unfortunately, Eggwhites still has that down for like another 15-20 seconds and did not have it for that play. And that was really what made the difference at the end of the day. Yes, he survived the initial engage,
Which I think is when you just need to leave.
Rushing Baron, Wheelchair's bot side.
They are going on it. They did decide to turn, but they have it still leashed. Wheelchair is here now. Food Battle sprinting over. They are going to run on the hunt. Use Crispy Nuggets is going to get put inside the Cataclysm, but they die in an instant. No lockdown available. Punky Rush might be the next target. Hextable Medium does so much, and the Lifeform Disintegration Ray will take out 2. Kingmaker goes down, and now Rutenium, the only one left available. Distortion on cooldown means they won't be able to get out of this one. No amount of Alcove Gaming is going to save your life, but they are going to try. Back to the Alcove, but the Twisted Advance is marked. And what started as a desperate attempt at Baron ended with a near ace. Food Battle decides to push in that mid lane, but I don't think that that is a valuable prize in return for the Baron.
I'm pretty sure the Lifeform Disintegration Ray and Bullet Time did like a combined like 7,000 damage in that team fight.
It's how they set up, for sure. It's how this draft is designed to play. We at least now have Eggwhites Flash back up. We have Crispy Nuggets Flash. So this soul fight will be very good, or what I assume will be a random mid lane fight, as it is D4 cap. Eventually coming out here.
Yeah, I wanted to mention another thing that we see in that last fight, not this Baron fight, but the one previous. Something you always want to avoid, no matter what level you're playing at, is those fights where it's just kind of like one by one. Each player goes in individually and dies against the entire team. You really want to be fighting as an entire unit and not just going one by one.
Very correct.
So you have some big items.
I just want to take a pause moment here as we're seeing items completed here. We're seeing 3 items on most of the carries of this game, but we talked about the Flicker Blades. Eggwhites built Flicker Blades.
I think it's a
Yeah,
good item. I think PD. I think both are options. I think that Flicker Blades is fine, and it's the stock standard pick. Food Battle might be over aggressing here.
FOODBATTLE has to use that Counter Strike. Nature's Grasp is there. The Flash will get them out of most of the damage.
This dive
Flash
is too
forward
far.
on
Yes,
bonus is
Seekers.
way too far forward. Lost Chapter is going to do a lot, but they have to do something to
Crispy
stop that
Misbandage.
integration rate. The Banshee's Veil is up and available. Curse the Sad Money gets all of them as so much damage coming through. All the Wombo abilities have been used, and no one died in response. Crispy Nuggets does go down now. The Sundered Sky will keep Jax alive for a moment, but Eggwhites cannot be CC'd, and it ends up being a 4 for 3.
In a
Rutennium
4v4.
wasn't even there. Just top lane pushing in, so that was a 4v5 fight. And now Eggwhites on the hunt, but not using that ultimate. Walking down Brother Otter, saving that spell shield. Brother Otter just walking themselves into the turret. And Rutennium gonna be able to take so much off of this. You got 12 seconds until Maokai is up. That means at least the inhibitor turret can be taken. Unfortunately, a minute 11 until Dragon is up and available. That means no permanent objectives going to be able to be taken, but maybe a permanent structure as the top lane inhibitor is about to go down.
So we saw what happens when important cooldowns don't get used on Rutennium or Eggwhites. They lose the fight. So they need to stop. Like, I know we're biased towards Feitan here, but I want to see people execute what their composition is. So Greed needs to be using their combo on either Rutennium or Eggwhites. No one else.
Yeah, but Food Battle's too tanky. He now has a Zanya's, so now he's very, very unkillable in these dives. It's just you can't use these things onto Food Battle here. Oh my god, Wheelchair Jungle
Wheelchair
half HP instantly.
Going to have to use the Flag and Drag to get out. I think this is a Dragon you want to give over. You still have a very strong team comp. You're not really ever going to be at the risk of falling off when you draft this Wombo combo, because as long as you aim and hit all of your abilities, you'll be fine. So you can give over the second Dragon. It's fine. They are going to opt to push in this mid wave, and Food Battle doesn't have any wave clear available. Quickly, I want to point out some items. Jarvan is going for a pretty decent build as this Nature's Grasp is going to be used. Rutennium jumps into the middle of them, but this is exactly what we warned about. Immediately a shutdown. But that's a lot of abilities that did get used. Cataclysm comes down, but it's not going to do enough damage to kill. The bullet time does no damage, and Food Battles dives in, stops it. Dead MF, dead Maokai. Brother Otter is running for their lives, but they're not going to be able to run fast enough as Eggwhites is on the hunt and looking for whatever the hell Vel'Koz is. Wants some calamari.
Rutennium just goes in for fun, knowing his team is going to immediately carry the team fight right afterwards. Rutennium is the GOAT, MVP caliber mid lane. That's confirmed.
That's what I like to call the ADC engage, where you know that you're going to die, but you just need your team to fight. So you just run in and force them to, no matter what.
If he had just waited for the Nature's Grasp to be done.
The Wheelchair thinks that he can stop this. Punky Russ is up and available. This is going to be 2 inhibitors taken. They don't have to greed for an end here. They can just grab these inhibitors just like game 1. And at 33 minutes, 3.5 minutes until what would for them be soul point, looks like they're going to take a step back and play it safe.
Baron in 90 seconds. This is the game-winning team fight. I don't think Soul's really going to matter. I think whoever gets this Baron wins the game. So I think you need to play for this right here. You need to get this Scuttle Crab if you can get it. It's so much vision. If you can't get it, it happens.
There's 2 things I want to touch on for this Baron fight. First off, Eggwhites no flash for 60 seconds. It'll come up right around Baron spawn. Second of all, has 5 items on the Silver Sivir, including that GA. So even if he gets bursted by the Wombo combo, he can still come back and put down all that damage that we know a 5-item Sivir can do. So it's incredibly difficult for Greed, I think, at this point in the game, barring a insta-kill on Eggwhites.
We've been talking about all these
Oh my god!
Flashing to hit the ethereal chains will not get the land though. Hookshot
misses it.
Does not hit a wall. Rutennium.
This is the 8th best top laner?
This guy is bloodthirsty. Just wants to fight. 16 seconds until we have Baron. Rutenium might want to start connecting with the rest of the team, though, because they don't have teleport, won't be able to join if that Baron gets started right away. And you see now Rutenium making their way up. We've been talking about itemization, now has the Rabadons, has the Storm Surge, so this LeBlanc is going to be packing a massive punch. And while not many tank items for the Amumu, they do have the Sunfire completed, working towards some other tank items. As the Baron has been started, we see Wheelchair Jungler
God, it's
making the
melting.
ping. They
He's
have to
gone.
get, they're too far away. They didn't get in time. Flash, but it will not be secured. Desperate attempt will fail, and now with 4v5 on the map for the next 50 seconds, we could see an end.
Very well.
I think it's incredibly likely, barring a hero play from Punky where he's instantly able to get on top of Eggwhites, and they 100-0 him once or twice with still having either the bullet time or the life form disintegration ray available. But he's just going to be marked by Rutenium.
Proper Rutenium from Nature's Grass is coming through. Rutenium is put in the Hextech Ultimatum, the Lost Chapter. They will turn to try and get the Camille, and they will get them, but Crispy Nuggets does go down.
Oh, the Otacon's slow.
Flash forward. They're trying to make it, and now diving the Nexus turrets. Peekaboo will flash out of there. Bullet time is used. Zanya is responded with, and they don't have the damage to kill them or stop them. It will be a 2-0 for Feitan.